briefing on this 18th day of December 2015. I hope that you're doing well. Well, we have you covered on the latest news updates here in Kenya, in the continent, and of course the globe. We also have a great show lined up for you tonight. And when I say great, you know the year is just about to end and Christmas is just around the corner, and we're about to say goodbye here on KTN Friday Briefing for 2015. And so tonight we want to finish on a sweet note, and I have the chef from the Master Chef, Kenya's Master Chef. I hear you call yourself Chef 001.
Oh yes, Chef 001. It means the best chef in Kenya.
Oh really?
And of course Mombasa County, you know, that's my home. 001.
Watu wa Mombasa mkona maringo sana.
It's 001. We are number one.
Well, that is very debatable. So as you can see, we have a kitchen. We've turned the studio into a kitchen, and I can see chocolate and I can see ice cream. Bad thing, I have, you know, a sore throat, but you know what, tonight I'll let my guard down. I'll have to taste a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So Christmas is coming and it's just around the corner. So you said that there are things that you can make that are so easy, yet we always think that they're very complicated. Like a cake in a minute?
Exactly, 1 minute in a microwave.
Really?
Like, you know,
this thing right here.
Chef would really do, but basically for people at home, really easy. Normal cake mix here, but basically in a microwave for 1 minute.
1 minute. And we'll be doing that right here on KTN Friday Briefing. So you better sit back and of course watch and see if it's actually true.
Yeah.
Are you sure it won't backfire on us?
Don't worry,
because we'll be laughing stock. Right, so we have so much more. Willis the Word Martin is also going to be joining us shortly during the bulletin from Kisumu County Live. Start texting me and tweeting me those words that you want him to tackle tonight. You know, you say onion, not onion.
Oh, okay, so we're going to do that.
Yes. I'm just putting it out there.
Onion.
Onion, not onion.
Okay.
All right, it's good for, you know, your chefing career.
Exactly, you know, my thing,
Kenyan to the core.
Represent the country.
Onion. Right, so we start KTN Friday Briefing tonight, right now, and we begin with the highlights, right?
Let's do this.
This is...
Former Kenyan minister to face Jersey extradition case after losing court challenge.
There is nobody who has any excuse whatsoever to say something happened and I was not aware. That will not be an acceptable language.
Repairing the cabinet's image, new crop of cabinet secretaries take oath of office. Africa for Burundi. African Union to send 5,000 troops amid worsening crisis in Burundi. And what are your children doing for the holidays? Making the best of a child's free time.
Thank you very much for joining us. Our sign language interpreter is William Silla. Now, Kenya's former finance minister, Chris Okemo, and ex-Kenya Power and Lightning Company managing director Samuel Gishuru have lost a bid to block extradition proceedings to face corruption charges in Jersey Island. Okemo and Gishuru are charged with money laundering and using a company based in Jersey Island to sanitize the proceeds accrued from their ventures. The two had moved to the High Court, claiming that the Director of Public Prosecutions had no powers to institute extradition proceedings against them. KTN Samogena begins our bulletin with that story.
The Kenyan High Court ruling has paved way for the extradition case against the two to proceed. High Court Judge Justice Isaac Lenaola noted that the Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako Tobiko, was within the law in instituting the extradition proceedings against Okemo and Gishuru, adding that their rights had not been violated. Okemo and Gishuru are charged with money laundering and using a company based in Jersey Island to sanitize the proceeds accrued from their ventures. The two wanted their extradition blocked, claiming that there was no legal basis to extradite them to Jersey Island to face money laundering charges. On July 11, 2011, the then Nairobi Senior Principal Magistrate Teresia Murugi said the Attorney General's powers were reduced under the new constitution, hence the DPP could take over the cases. Okemo and Gishuru moved to court to challenge Tobiko's powers to initiate the extradition proceedings. They said the proceedings were fatally defective because the DPP was constitutionally challenged to commence the trial against them. The two are wanted in Jersey for allegedly money laundering of about 900 million shillings. The DPP wants Okemo and Gishuru extradited to face charges of money laundering, fraud and misconduct while in public office. Tobacco authorized their extradition following the request by the United Kingdom in accordance with the Commonwealth Extradition Act. The former Finance Minister Chris Okemo and the former Kenya Power Company Managing Director Samuel Gishuru are accused of abusing their offices by using proxy companies to squander public funds over 10 years ago. Sam Ogina, KTN News.
Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta has asked the newly appointed cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries to seek to clean up the image of their ministries by fighting corruption and improving on service to the public. The new cabinet members were sworn into office today.
Before family and friends, the newly appointed cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries took oath of office amid calls by the president to be accountable and improve public service. The swearing in was conducted by the head of public service, Joseph Kinyua. The 7 cabinet secretaries sworn in are Charles Keter, Inajan Petroleum, Daniel Kazungu Mzee, Mining, Festus Mwangi Kiunjuri, Devolution and Planning, Willie Bet, Agriculture and Livestock Development, Cecily Kariuki, Public Service, Youth and Gender, Cleopa Mailu, Health, and Joseph Musheru, Information Communication Technology. 24 new principal secretaries that included 9 women in compliance with the gender principle were also sworn in.
Lilian Bogo Omolo.
President Uhuru Kenyatta named the new officers following massive corruption allegations against some members of the executive. The president urged the new team to root out corruption in their new dockets.
We want to run a clean government. We want to ensure that we deal firmly and decisively and uproot this vice of corruption that has afflicted us as a nation.
In April 2013, Uhuru unveiled his new cabinet of 18 ministries, 18 cabinet secretaries and 26 principal secretaries. Kenya's supreme law caps ministries to a maximum of 22, hence the maximum number of cabinet secretaries must not exceed 22. But the constitution is silent on the number of principal secretaries. Uhuru's midterm cabinet shuffle has now reorganized government to have 20 ministries, 20 cabinet secretaries and 41 principal secretaries.
Whereas the constitution has limited us in terms of the number of cabinet secretaries that we can have, we have deemed it fit to increase the number of principal secretaries who will be assisting and working together with the cabinet secretaries in order to reduce part of the workload that was there and in order to make government that much more efficient in terms of its service delivery.
When fraud was unearthed at the National Youth Service, Kenyans were treated to a drama of blame game between then Cabinet Secretary for Devolution Anne Waiguru and her Principal Secretary Peter Mangiti. The President warned the freshly appointed Cabinet Secretaries and Principal Secretaries that they will be held accountable for graft in their ministries.
The Principal Secretaries especially had huge dockets. I think with the way we have streamlined them now, there is nobody who has any excuse whatsoever to say something happened and I was not aware. That will not be an acceptable language. You are responsible and you shall be held responsible for the activities of your dockets.
There was a light moment in the National Assembly Wednesday during debate on nominees to the cabinet, even as a section of lawmakers complained the list flouted the constitutional 2/3 gender principle and regional balance.
Speaker, as you may know, Kiunjuri is my colleague, him and Makwere in the Koinange Street saga, and I know I can never stand in his way. So I have to support Honorable Kiunjuri. We have a past together.
The swearing in at State House came a day after a civil society organization moved to court seeking to have the cabinet appointment stopped, claiming the list did not meet the gender threshold set in the constitution. However, Justice Joseph Onguto declined to bar the swearing in of the appointees. The judge said he needed first to grant the executive a hearing. The petitioners had accused President Uhuru Kenyatta of violating the constitution by failing to ensure that at least 7 members of his cabinet are women. An inter-parties hearing will be held on Wednesday next week, though the horse has apparently bolted from the stable. Patrick Amimo, KTN News.
Now, only one national holiday will be celebrated within Nairobi, while the other two will be hosted by other counties on a rotational basis every year, President Uhuru Kenyatta has said. Now, the head of state, who was meeting with governors and other state officers, says this is meant to foster national unity as the government promotes devolution. And as KTN's Remi Marechaux reports, the governors have asked the president to redirect more resources to the counties to steer development at the grassroots.
For over 50 years, this glamour, pomp and color has been a preserve of the city under the sun, as the rest of Kenyans upcountry catch the entertainment through the television. But from next year, this action will relocate upcountry. Well, at least twice every year, when the head of state will be hosting 2 national holiday celebrations from the counties on a rotational basis, with only one such celebration happening in Nairobi every year. And the first stop next year is Nakuru and Mombasa. The president made the announcement as he hosted governors and other state officials for the 4th National and County Government Summit, where he and the county chiefs present took stock of the fruits of devolution.
I truly acknowledge that devolution actually is working. Yes, we have had challenges. Let's not stand there and say we have not had challenges. We even also have had challenges implementing this new constitution even at the national government level. But we can say clearly that we have made substantial progress.
For us to be called successful, we will be measured as against whether our people are living according to acceptable standards and whether they can access basic services.
The Council of Governors has in recent times breathed fire at the national government over alleged conspiracy to kill devolution through such tactics as delayed release of county funds, including those meant for the free maternity services, one of the key initiatives launched by the now nearly 3-year-old Jubilee government. And on this day, the Council of Governors Chair, Governor Peter Munya, laid bare some more challenges faced by the counties.
I note this calendar here, we experience many security challenges, attacks in Mandera, Garissa, and Lamu. And at this point, again, we want to appreciate the efforts of the national security agencies and the national government, and also the efforts of county personnel that went to assisting victims and helping families to be reunited with their loved ones.
Also, a recent cause of friction between the governors and the Uhuru administration has been the demand for increased county allocations in the national budget, with governors spearheading the Pesa Mashinani drive for a referendum, a push previously vehemently opposed by the Jubilee government on account that Treasury has inadequate funds and that counties have not fully accounted for all previous allocations.
Our commitment to fight this monster called corruption, especially we in the executive, and that is ourselves and yourselves, are constantly being challenged on this particular issue. So we really have to partner and to work together to see how we are going to be able to tackle this monster at the national level, but also, at the county level.
Remi Marechaux, KTN News, Nairobi.
Right, and that story brings us to a big question tonight, and on it we're asking you, will the rotation of the national holiday celebrations, as President Uhuru Kenyatta said, in the counties promote cohesion? That's our big question tonight. Will the rotation of national holiday celebrations in the country actually promote cohesion? That's our big cue tonight. We'd like to hear your views. The number to text in is 22155. The hashtag to use is Friday Briefing. Let me sample 2 messages here. From Chris Mugambi on Twitter, he said, nope, doesn't make any sense at all. You'll see, time will prove it. Maina Wamboi says, not entirely, but it's one step of promoting cohesion, will give a sense of inclusivity to people. We'd like to hear what you think about the big question tonight. Text in 22155 and hashtag Friday Briefing. We'll be sampling them as we go along in the bulletin. Now to a devastating story, and a family in Likoni is tonight seeking justice over the horrible murder of their 11-year-old daughter. Little Stella Wangoi's body was found raped, stabbed and washed with acid at a neighbor's house at their Mrima home. The suspect in the murder case, who appeared in court today, will now be subjected to a psychiatric examination. KTN's Coast reporter Francis Ontomo covered the proceedings and now reports from Mombasa.
When little Stella Wangoi failed to return home on the evening of last Monday from tuition, panic hit her young family. It was the first time the little angel would leave and never come back, and this meant something was wrong. A search that will last for hours will finally bring out the unfathomable. The little girl perished in the most brutal and inhuman manner. She was found raped and killed at a next-door neighbor's house near their home in Remi Marechaux. And this is the man accused of killing the young girl, Manfredo Thiambo, brought to Mombasa law courts today. His white shirt soaked in a pool of blood. He escaped death by a whisker. An angry mob had descended on him upon linking him to the murder. And just like the way he fought his way from the mob, he fights the glares of camera. Inside the court, Principal Magistrate Diana Mochache takes her position to listen to a case that has been packed with lots of emotions. Many here are keen to know which way justice. All the while, Manfredo Thiambo stood transfixed as the charges leveled against him were read. Justice Mochache ordered that the accused be taken for mental checkup, but this only serves to excite emotions in the court. A visibly emotional Mombasa woman representative Mishi Mboko, who made her way here, struggles to keep her cool. Justice Mochache will finally direct the detaining of the suspect for 10 days at Port Police pending investigations.
First, the doctor has to establish whether he is a normal person. Okay? So he has to go to a psychiatrist.
Outside the court, the late Stella's parents, Pauline Jerry and Samuel Mwangi, are too weak to walk, and friends support the duo who've undergone what's perhaps their toughest episode ever in their lives. Pauline is too shaken even to utter a word. Samuel Mwangi cannot understand how his supposed close friend and neighbor will allegedly inhumanly turn against their small angel.
Jamaa ndio amenipeleka kwa ripoti, tunasuguka, tukifika kwa OBA ndio anatoa nini kamili, tukienda kwa kutangaza kwa feli. Yeye mwenyewe ndio tunasuguka na yeye, namnunulia chai jiani, anisaidie kufanya kazi, tunasuguka kote kote. Shaken mothers from Likoni led by Mishi Mboko vent out their anger and they want justice served.
We have no words to express. We have been talking about this, Mr. President, each and every time. We have been doing demonstrations. We are doing each kind of things which we are supposed to do. But still, we don't see that justice. Mr. President and the Deputy President, we are talking to the judiciary.
The body of the late is currently lying at the Coast General Hospital, awaiting a post-mortem exam. Cases of sexual defilement have skyrocketed in the Likoni constituency. A recent report by the National Crime Research Center puts Mombasa ahead of 13 counties with 60% sampled in a recent research. Francis Ontomwa, KTN News, Mombasa.
So devastating. Now, the African Union's Peace and Security Council has proposed sending 5,000 peacekeepers to Burundi, invoking a rule which allows it to deploy a force without the consent of Burundi's leader. KTN News editor Lilian Odera has the latest push by the international community, even as Burundi insists on dialogue as the only solution to the ongoing crisis.
8 months into the conflict sparked off by President Pierre Nkurunziza's quest to hold on to power, and the human toll in Burundi, now standing at about 400, has left the world concerned of a possible genocide. The African Union Peace and Security Council had in a meeting Thursday indicated that Africa will not allow another genocide to take place on African soil. In a resolution, the Council authorized the deployment of 5,000-man force for Burundi, whose mandate includes the protection of civilians. It's likely that the troops will be drawn from the East African Brigade, part of the larger Africa Standby Force that has been undertaking trainings in South Africa. President Nkurunziza has up to early Tuesday to respond to the AU resolution. On Thursday, Burundi Foreign Minister Ambassador Elaine Nyamitwe agreed to dialogue as a solution to Burundi's crisis.
We are not denying the need for dialogue. We are just simply saying that offenses committed need to be prosecuted. Yes, for dialogue. Yes, for a broad-based, inclusive dialogue. And no to directed and restricted dialogue between the government on one side and a handful chosen, preferred favorites.
Meantime, a special session at the UN's top rights body passed a resolution tabled by the United States to urgently dispatch an investigative team to Burundi.
Today, the Human Rights Council accepted a resolution to avert the escalation and expansion of the killing in Burundi. Today's special session is an attempt to prevent, and that's a key word, prevent mass atrocities by focusing attention and providing expert assistance in the region before it is too late.
The time for piecemeal responses and fiddling around the edges is over. The situation in Burundi demands a robust, decisive response from the international community.
The convening of this session is based on the words of some representatives of Western countries in order to prevent large scales of massacres or even genocide to happen in the near future in Burundi.
The country's current political crisis pits supporters of President Pierre Nkurunziza against opponents who say his re-election in July for a third term violated the constitution. Tension has been running particularly high since gunmen attacked military sites in the capital Bujumbura last Friday. This is the first time that the African Union is invoking Article 4 of its Constitutive Act, which allows it to intervene in a member country, even without the express authority of that country. It will be interesting to monitor events out of Bujumbura in the next 4 days, bearing in mind that President Pierre Nkurunziza has blatantly retorted that he would not allow foreign troops in Burundi. Lilian Odera, KTN News, in Nairobi.
Right, so we want to take a short commercial break here on KTN Friday Briefing, but let's have a reminder of our big question tonight. And of course, it's in regard to the national holidays going to the counties to promote cohesion. And we are asking you, will the rotation of national holidays celebrations in the country, in the counties, promote cohesion? That's our big question tonight. We'd like to hear what you think. The hashtag to use is Friday Briefing and the number to text in is 22155. We'll be happy to sample your views. Now, we're just about to take a break, but don't go away, because when we come back, I'll try my hand at, baking live on TV, knowing very well that I can very well embarrass myself, but it's fine.
No, you'll be doing.
What is this? This looks so delicious.
This is something I just created. Basically, it is a Christmas tree.
Oh, I like that.
That's the fun part of it. I'm just gonna take everyone to step-by-step tutorial on how to make this.
How to make this?
Really easy.
It's really easy.
Really fun for the festive season.
Right. So we'll get to learn a lot. So get your notebooks, get your microwave, and so much. Join us after this short commercial break. We'll be making that and so much more with our guest anchor, Chef Ali Latiste. 001.
001. Oh yes, you got that.
All right, let's take that break. This is a lot of work. This looks really good.
Yeah, it looks like Christmas, right?
I like. Chefs Association.
Yes,
so
got that.
I can be, I can do everything that a chef does tonight.
Exactly.
Right.
We give you the honors.
You give me the powers.
The power from Kenya Chefs Association.
Right. So we're just about to get it, to get our hands dirty. Right. So I want to first know how to make this one.
How to make this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is really quick. Now it looks like a tree, right? So
yes.
the idea is a Christmas tree. You can make it more fun than this. What you need is a cupcake.
Right.
So
Of
that's
course you need a
basically-
cupcake.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then I think you can try to frost a cupcake.
Uh-huh.
So basically, we'll do it together.
Okay.
You just take some vanilla frosting, and then you do a nice base.
Uh-huh.
So that your cone would be able to stick.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
that is good enough. Now, what you need would be a cone. This
Oh,
is like any other cone.
Yeah.
That
You
ice
buy
cream
off
cone.
the
Yes.
ice cream cone. You buy it in the supermarket.
Any supermarket.
Yeah.
Good, so you got that. Now, I want a bit of some snow. So you can just take it a bit closer
Right,
here. So we can just drizzle a bit of some snow on the side, which is desiccated coconut.
Coconut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will give you that kind of a snow feel.
All right.
Now, good. So we have our, what would I say? Our tree that doesn't look like tree.
Yeah, our
We have a
tree
cone.
that doesn't
Now,
look
we
like
want
a
to
Christmas
make it
tree.
look like a Christmas tree.
like this.
Yes. So
yeah.
what do we do? We are going to get a bit of some vanilla frosting, and then we're going to throw it into a
This color?
Yeah.
Okay.
The plate.
Right. So do I
And
mix
then-
it?
Yes. I'm just going to add in a bit of some color because I had already made a bit before. So a bit of some green color to go there.
There
and
we
then you're
go.
going to do a quick mix. Once everything is mixed, we are just going to take a cone. And making a cone is basically really easy. This is a ready-made cone that I just made from here. But then now I'll show you how to make a cone. So this is basically
Is this green enough?
Yeah, really green.
This is
and
actually a very healthy tree, this one. All right, so then...
So this is basically just a triangular greaseproof paper, and I just want to make a cone out of it. So I'm just going to take it around that way.
That's so simple.
Yeah,
so this is
then-
something you can do with your kids, you know, with your
Exactly.
family
It's
members.
fun. Make
It's a lot of
Christmas
fun.
or maybe the holidays
Christmas fun.
really fun at home.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have
All right.
my lovely cone here, and now
So
you're
I
gonna
pour
scoop
it up.
this in. Yes.
Pour it, all of it.
Chef Betty, I like that.
I'm
Nice.
telling you. Is it gonna go in?
Yep, it is. So yeah, just get the most out of it. Like try to get everything
Okay.
from there.
If I suck at this, just tell me. I will know, you know.
No worry.
No
You're
feelings
doing well.
hurt.
Good, good. Now I'm just gonna pinch
Yes.
it from here.
Get it all out.
And I'm gonna get everything towards the bottom.
That's so
Just gonna do
simple.
a quick tear, and then we are gonna make our lovely tree.
So how
you're
do you
gonna
do
hold
it?
for me?
Yeah.
Basically, just dot.
Can I try?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Let me just mess it up for you because
Okay.
let me try.
All right. just
Maybe
press.
maybe if I need a career change,
Yeah.
maybe I'll consider
Just
being
play around with it. Make it fun at home.
make it
That's the
fun
idea, right?
and enjoy it. Mine looks so horrible. Wow. Hey, yeah, I wasn't meant for this. Okay, let me just let you do it. I'm gonna
Okay.
spend the whole evening here.
Good. So we're just gonna do this really quickly. You just want to take it.
Look at you do it so
all
easily.
around. And you want to pull it so that it looks more of like
Oh
a tree.
yeah, like
you know?
a tree. Just don't
That
put it there.
really, you know.
Right.
Quick, pa, pa, pa. You're gonna take it all around. Yeah, you
Don't
can,
worry about the one that's
you
pouring.
can enjoy that. You
I'm
know,
gonna
that's fine. That's the beauty of being in the kitchen.
Yeah, you get to taste the good
you get
stuff.
to taste the good stuff really fast. I'm gonna try to do this,
This
really
is
fast.
super
You
cool.
need a bit of some time here because you know you want to make it perfect, but then try my best.
Got it.
See what I
Got
can
it.
do. Yeah, the cake is really moist, all the way from Mombasa.
Lovely. All that from Mombasa. Okay, you have
Yeah.
to stop that Mombasa vibe.
my county.
Your county.
001.
Even in Nairobi, we make such.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of it,
Yeah,
by the
sure,
way.
Sure.
Yeah.
So really quickly, you can just place it on the side here, and then we
Yeah.
can finish our good decor. The cake is
There
really
we go.
soft.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
worry
very
about
soft. Oh yeah.
Don't worry about it. Good stuff.
It's sweet.
I'm just gonna add in a bit
Some
of
snow.
some snow. You know. Yeah.
Lovely.
And maybe some lovely glitter. You know, I'm really
Edible glitter,
Yeah,
that is.
edible glitter.
Yeah.
Right. So just to make it look like.
There we go. That is so
Yay!
cool. That is
Fantastic.
really,
It's
really
something that you
nice.
can really do it really fun at home, really quickly, without a problem.
Without a
With the
problem.
kids
And it's a lot
enjoy.
of fun.
Yes.
And with friends, you know, when
Yes.
you're bored in those,
Yes,
cold
good stuff.
mornings. Right. So I like that. But then I'm very curious about the 1 minute cake.
Let's do this.
Let's do this?
Let's do this.
All right,
It's gonna
first
be
of all, I
really
want even to know how to, you know how you mix the butter?
Exactly.
Because my cakes, when I try to bake, the cakes at home, I have two problems. First of all, it's mixing the right, proportions.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's too sweet, sometimes it's not sweet. And then the other thing is that it refuses to come off the the baking
exactly,
thingy.
you know, as we always say that baking is a science, so everything needs to be like, you know, exact according to the quantities.
All right.
So really quickly, without wasting time, we're just going to do a quick mixture, and I'm going to do some butter.
Okay.
So this is going to be approximately 100 grams of butter that will go with 1 cup of sugar.
Can I enjoy this as you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Because this is really, really, I'm a sweet tooth.
So you want to beat this up like with a mixer. So maybe
and we have one here.
Yes.
I think you should do this. I think I'm gonna mess up my.
Going to do this really quickly, and we just want to combine everything together until we get a pale white color. All right, it's gonna be a bit noisy, but yeah. At this point, you can continue to do this, and I can break an egg inside.
Yeah.
So you want to do 2 eggs. So really quickly, I'm just going to break 1 egg.
If I mess up my dress, you'll just know why. You know, you're in the kitchen. So we mix butter, sugar, eggs. Yeah. Sorry.
And then, well, the mixture is well combined. I can just throw in.
So I stop? Not yet? Okay.
Good stuff. Looks good.
Okay.
Looks good. You can just take it down. All right, good.
There you go.
You want to add in a bit of some flour. There will be 1 cup of flour.
Okay.
Now you want to start with really slow, but before then, we're just going to do some baking powder.
Okay.
1 teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to do some vanilla essence. 1 teaspoon of vanilla
And all these
essence.
things are available at the supermarket?
At any local supermarket. In red food color, because I want to do some red velvet. So red food color to go in here. So that we get that nice dramatic color, and then now just give it a nice. Yeah, you want to do it this way? Yes, it doesn't get good. Yeah, that's fine. Take it around. And then we finish off with a bit of some water.
Yeah.
Just to soften that mixture.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Bit of some water.
Right. Oh, it starts to look good. Yeah.
So at least a 1/4 cup of water. Go in there. Basically, you can just mix up everything and just have everything together, and then just put it.
How do you talk and cook at the same time? You know, and especially on TV, because you're so used to it. I'll only concentrate on like, wait fast, let me just finish this.
You know, for me, for my shows and all, I have to speak and
as you cook.
Exactly.
And
as
make
I
sure
move.
the
Look
food
at
is
that.
delicious.
Hello, it looks good. I just want to make it a bit
really
moist.
Delicious.
Yeah. Just finish it off. Lovely. And then we're going to scoop it
Look at
into
that.
our cup.
Yum.
Okay.
So that's it?
That should be it.
Is it good enough?
Good enough. That's fantastic.
All right, fine. So let's just take our audience, our viewers, through what we've done. We've put the sugar, we put the butter.
And then we had, of course, some flour to go with baking powder and some vanilla essence with some red color. And then you finish off with a bit of some water, just to, like, you know,
make it soft.
Yes. You want a very moist cake.
Right.
Now I'm going to scoop this mixture into a cup.
And it's just a cup.
Just any other cup that you have at home. So 1 scoop is basically 1 cupcake.
Okay.
So I'm going to do
But
at
that's
least,
so little.
yeah, that's going to be little for us. You know, we're going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 3. This will be sufficient to 3 good cupcakes. A lot of calories.
Cheers. Can you see that? That is a lot of calories. You know, in December holidays, you don't really care about, you know.
And then you just cut them off. So don't worry about it. Just cut them
January,
off.
you go, you hit the gym.
I'm missing the cup here, but don't worry.
So remember, you can interact with us, hashtag Friday Briefing. Tell us what you think about what you're doing. If you have any questions, you can throw them at Chef Lat.
Hashtag Ask Chef Al.
Yeah, that can work on Friday, whatever you want. Right, so we put it in?
Yeah, we just put it in. 1 good minute. I'm just going to clean my cup.
Yeah, your cup is already messy.
Anyway, we're just going to enjoy
So
it.
this is the point to actually put it in the microwave.
In the microwave for 1 minute.
For 1 minute. You know, when I tweeted that, people are like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. So let's see.
Okay.
Are you nervous? The microwave won't work today.
It will.
Okay, so I've set it at 1 minute. So I go?
Yep, go. Okay.
Okay.
My tree fell.
Let's wait for that.
Fine.
So
in the meantime, we can do another one and just maybe take it a bit closer so that it don't.
So Chef Ali, you started, you know, you're so much into into cooking and everything.
Yes, yes.
When did you, think that, you want to take it to the next level and not just be a chef, but you have these TV shows, teaching people how to, to cook stuff. Where did that passion come from?
I guess basically being inspired with, of course, the good ingredients that we have in Kenya.
Right.
Like you just bring any chef from all over the world. They'll just come in and say, wow, you guys are blessed.
Yeah,
you
with
have
a lot
amazing ingredients.
Yeah.
So for me, being the chef and sharing my cooking skills and ideas is basically the passion for my country at the end of the day, because we do have fantastic ingredients that some people are not blessed with such ingredients. So basically using these local ingredients and producing amazing dishes is basically my thing. It smells like a baked cake. Let's see.
Oh, there we go.
Look at
it's
that.
So hot.
Look at that.
Look at
It's
that.
baked and fluffy. Look at that. So soft and
Can you
fluffy.
see that? Which camera? Which camera?
1 minute.
There we go. Which camera? This one, camera 4. It actually is a cake.
It's a very soft cake, very nice and fluffy.
Ooh.
So for now, we need a topping for the cake, right?
Yes, let's
So we
do
melt
it.
some chocolate. We're gonna melt some
So
chocolate.
let me put this in the meantime. Let
Yeah.
me put the second cup mug cake
Okay.
to. There we go.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, yum! All right. This looks very delicious. Is everything okay in there?
Lovely. Yeah, continue with basically, and that's basically what really motivated me to be, a chef and basically, showcase my country and the ingredients that we have. That's the whole idea. People need to understand that you can create a lot of things with what we have locally.
What we have locally, and that's very true. Do you think Kenyans, we just love nyama choma and ugali? We don't, explore the things that you're talking about?
Yeah, basically, no. I think Kenyans are adventurous. And basically the response that I'm getting with my TV shows is that people really want to learn more. The moment my show won't go on TV, people are just going to blast me on Twitter. Like, what's happening? What happened to the show today,
Right.
That's the whole thing. So people are really eager to learn, and that's a very, very good spirit.
Lovely. I can't wait to dig in.
Okay.
But I'll wait. I'll wait for the, everything. Let's see how this one turned out.
Okay.
Oh, this is even bigger.
Ah, nice.
Wow, that's really, really lovely.
Now we want to melt some chocolate.
Yes. So how do we do that?
You just put it in the microwave. So we have chocolate, any chocolate that you can find from your local supermarket. Any chocolate will melt in a microwave. So really quickly, we're just gonna melt.
How long should I give this
chocolate. Give it a minute, and then we'll just start. We'll quickly start.
Smells so good.
I know.
This studio has never, smelled this good.
Really? No, we'll make it proper.
You can see people are starting to, to come in the studio to just see what's happening in here. All right.
Okay, so basically, I think.
And so all these ingredients are available locally.
These are very Kenyan, as from the butter to the flour to the desiccated coconut to the sugar. We are blessed.
So do you cook at home? You have a lovely wife. I mean,
thank you.
Are you the one who cooks, or she's on?
We cook together.
You cook together.
We cook together. That's the fun part of it.
Yeah.
It's even
she also
more
loves
romantic.
Cooking, or she has to like cooking because you're a chef.
Yes, she enjoys cooking. She loves it because basically it's basically a passion for her as well.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, she wouldn't just spend all the time in the kitchen by herself. I'm just going to walk in and we'll do it together.
Lovely. So now this ones, what do we do with this one?
We're just going to frost them with a bit of the chocolate.
All right, let's see. There we go. Not so much.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just stir it. We'll just stir it really quickly, and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can just stir it. Right. So with chocolate, basically working with chocolate, 1 minute is good enough. So you just want to stir it. Nairobi is a bit cold.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you just want to give it a nice stir. And then
I think I'll continue having some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, you can add in a bit of some oil if you want to moisten everything. But since it's hot, I'm just going to add in a bit of some good Kenyan butter. Yeah, all my ingredients here are Kenyan. So just to get it like nice and moist.
Right.
At this point, you see? Lovely.
Oh, there we go. Easy. Easy breezy. Right.
Yeah, I got
so
my
1
hands
minute
dirty here.
cakes.
1 minute cakes.
Yeah.
With some chocolate
on top.
Look at how this cake
that
is
looks
nice
so
and fluffy.
That's I have so many words to describe it.
Okay. And
Very,
then
very
we're
nice.
gonna do a bit of some Christmas color maybe.
All right.
What do I do with my just put them down here. Let's get a bit of some frosting there.
It's almost over.
And then, yeah, good. Maybe some sprinkles.
All right.
Have fun with your baking.
With your
in
baking.
the microwave.
Throw everything in there.
Throw everything in there.
Okay.
And then now it's time to dig in.
Let's now dig in. I'm so sorry at home we can't do this with us, but I think tomorrow morning you can wake up, it's a Saturday, and just make something.
We have some forks down there. Yeah, let me get them. Good.
Right. So, time to dig in.
Time to dig in.
All right, let's see how good it is.
Fluffiness, just in the towards the center. Look at that. Look at how fluffy this thing is.
Look at that 1 minute cake.
Yes.
Cheers.
Really nice and
Cheers
fluffy
to the
and
great
moist.
Christmas experience with
Exactly.
cakes at home.
You know, cakes at home and it's a hot cake. See
this
that?
is so good.
This is just awesome. So they say the best cake is served hot.
This is too much chocolate.
Amazing. So you can do this with small cups, you know. Get creative. Top it with whatever you want, some caramel, you know, some buttercream, some whipped cream, some goodies to go on top, whatever you want to call them. So basically,
this is so
the
good.
fun part of it. And you can change the flavors as well. You can use chocolate. I use some red color here to get that nice dramatic color. Like
you can even use banana, I think.
Yes, you can use banana as a topping, some fruits, mangoes you can use on top.
This is
but
really
for the
good.
flavoring, you can use some cocoa, you can use, you know, coffee. We have such beautiful things in Kenya, like Kenyan coffee as well, at the end of the day. Tea! Not forgetting my beautiful Kenyan tea.
Yeah, you love tea.
Yes, I love
All
my
right,
tea.
so
I love my tea.
as I continue enjoying it, my director, you know, the gallery is going crazy. Everyone's like, we want one. So I want us to do something. So you're good at this, no doubt, you know. I can't even beat you, you know, in anything that you've done.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's that, but it's good that way. So I want you to come and have a taste
of what you do.
Of what I do. And so walk with me. Time to read the news and see if you can have an alternate career.
Let's see.
So let's go. So as I enjoy my mug cake, which is so delicious.
Okay, do I have to sit?
Yeah. Of course you have to sit.
Okay,
I'm so
where
sorry
are you going to sit?
I'm not going to sit. You sit.
Okay, so I'm the news anchor
You
today.
are the news anchor. And so you have to give, you know, you have to throw in some charisma. You have to throw in, you know how you throw in the, you know, some chocolate and, you know, desiccated coconut. So you throw in some charisma, some authority, some charm, all right? And, you know, throw it in there. So introduce the story for us. And but first, start by introducing yourself.
So where do I read? Do I read from here?
No. You read from there.
I read from there?
Yes.
Okay,
all right. As I enjoy my
So
stuff.
my Kenyan Chef Association hat is going to go on the side. I'm going to use anchor now.
All right, enjoy.
Okay, so I read from there. And I start to introduce myself. How does the news anchor sit? Like that? So, when to start?
No.
Hi guys, my name is Chef Ali La Artiste, Global Ambassador, Kenya Chefs Association, and of course representing my country. So today we are at the Friday briefing, right? Good, and now I read. So during long holidays, such as the December break, parents are often at a loss on how to ensure that their children spend their holidays in a constructive manner. Many are forced to either stare at the television sets all day or farm freely in the estates in Kenya, Nyeri County. A first of its kind art camp is providing an opportunity for children to enjoy their holiday by drawing, painting, and having fun. KTN's Carol Nderi visited the art camp to bring us the following story.
Activity characterizes the mood here in this hall at the Nyeri National Museums. The studious little faces pore over their paperwork, lost in deep concentration. Every detail counts.
How does mine look?
Yet, even as the little ones go over their work in this seemingly serious manner, there is lots of fun and good cheer to go around. This is an art camp aimed at harnessing the artistic talents that children might harbor but lack a forum or an opportunity to cultivate them further. Besides the main aim of the camp, to nurture talents such as drawing and painting, the children are also taught to appreciate the environment by being creative and using discarded material to create beautiful forms. Take these discs and bottles, for example. They might seem useless, but the children have turned them into aesthetic objects. The art camp is a brainchild of Rachel Gitao of Usani Art Kenya, who collaborated with the National Museums of Kenya in central Kenya. Rachel says many times during holidays such as the long December break, children do not engage in active, useful activities and instead participate in passive activities such as watching television all day. This, she says, not only makes them lazy and kills their creativity, but also makes them vulnerable to lifestyle diseases due to lack of physical activity.
So tukasema, why can't we just convert this to apatie kitu fun ya kufanya that is also developing them in talent and mentally, and then pia tupate wakati wa mentor, yeah? Tunaongea na wao, unawasikiza, the issues that they are going through.
Art has been scrapped off from school, so when kids are really missing out, and there's a huge talent, I'm sure you've seen from the work that they've done, there's a huge talent out there.
During holidays such as these, children often find themselves idle, and therefore it is important to harness their talents and creativity so that they do not find themselves immersed in activities that they shouldn't be in the first place. The camp, a first of its kind in Nyeri, drew children aged between 5 years to 15 years for a week. Moving forward, the organizers hope to hold such camps every school holiday and are calling on other stakeholders in other fields such as music, acting and sports to do the same. Organize camps where the children can while their time away during holidays and engage in useful ventures.
Nilichora vitu kama sungura.
Napenda kuchora na kukimbia.
Ninapenda kuchora. Naendanga riara.
Joel Karaoke is an art teacher in Nyeri, and through art, he says he is able to make a living and feed his family. He urges other parents not to downplay talents such as drawing and other forms of art, as these can form careers for their children.
Juzi tumeona watu wengi sana ambao wanachora picha, wanauza kama shilingi 1200, 1300, na kipawa kama hicho kikipotea kama saa hii, watoto kama hawa wataingia mambo ya ulevi.
Parents at home have also been urged to assist their children spend their time wisely during holidays, and at the same time let them have good fun, for that is what the holidays are for anyway. Carol Derry, KTN News, Nyeri County.
Oh, welcome back.
Okay, I need to sit like a news anchor.
I think I was enjoying the cake too much. So I'll give you a 7 out of 10 because I think you have the charisma. You have, you have something, a little sprinkling of something.
I can put on a suit.
I think you can. With,
so you
with
invite
polishing,
me quite often, yeah.
And then some consultancy, services. I'll be able to polish up, and I think you can do it. So you can actually rate Chef Ali. Tell us how you think he did. I think the 7 out of 10 comes because of the really nice cake. So tomorrow, the Kenya Chefs Association, you have an event. Tell us about that.
Yes, we have a CSR event. Yeah. So the Kenya Chefs Association, which is branded here, basically has a CSR event tomorrow where we are gonna go to Tumaini Children's Home, and basically share our love for the children. And basically, it is festive season, so everyone needs to feel loved. So the idea, like all the chefs basically in Mombasa, and of course the ones who are gonna come from Nairobi for the association as well, are basically going to join hands together and basically send food. So we're going to cook, we're going to serve, we're going to have fun with the kids, and this is the opportunity that we're going to make that.
Yeah.
All right, good. I made cupcakes for them. Yeah. I've been baking the whole day today and maybe tomorrow as well. So I think we should make this as well.
I think you should. I think I'll make 1 or 2 and then you'll take it tomorrow. Right, so we want to take a short break here on KTN Friday Briefing. Business is coming up next, but also remember that Will is the word master, mzungu wetu.
Oh, atatufundisha.
See onion, but ni onion. See oven, but ni oven.
See often, ni often.
Right, so all that is coming up shortly. Stay with KTN Friday Briefing.
Good evening and a warm welcome to KTN Business. My name is Abi Agina.
African countries have been urged to embrace the Pan-African Trade Hub system in boosting intra-African trade, as this would help create a platform premised on a continental area free of restrictive trade barriers and help create an environment receptive to the growth of these regional and global supply networks in Africa, hence creating wealth and eradicating poverty in the continent. This came up during the WTO talks led by the government of Ghana.
Official trade experts and advisories have long pondered the measures that can be taken to boost Africa's share of the global trade volumes and propose actionable action plans that have never been implemented. But experts now say the solutions lies in the creation of inter-industry linkages and boosting Africa's trade within itself. And now they have proposed the establishment of the Pan-African Free Trade Area that will work to increase inter-African trade.
So this system will also help to network these national single windows, as well as commodity exchanges that are being established in a number of African countries, including in Ghana and Ethiopia, and I believe the Nigerians, the Kenyans, and others, Zimbabwe, have either attempted or thinking of establishing commodity exchanges, where the bulk of goods, so a country that has maybe excess maize, 500,000 tons of maize, and is not sure what to do with it. Another country will see that this country has so much tons of maize available to sell. Another country has containers load of frozen fish waiting to be sold. And to allow for the trade to move quickly so that we don't lose a lot of our...
Intra-African trade currently stands at 12% of total trade, compared to 60% for Europe, 40% for North America, and 30% for Asia, according to statistics cited by the WTO. Enhancing this trade, such as through the large continent-wide trade deal, the deepening market integration can contribute significantly to sustainable economic growth, employment generation, and poverty reduction. It will also boost inflows of foreign direct investment, industrial development, and better integration of the continent into the global economy.
Countries of the world, other institutions of the world which are non-African, can offer support or advice based on their own experiences. Because we live in a world where nobody can say their issues are unique to themselves. The Europeans have various e-commerce platforms and e-commerce experiences which Africans can learn from.
Already, the continent has rolled out plans for a smaller tripartite FTA, which will span 3 existing regional economic communities, namely the Common Market for East and Southern Africa COMESA, the East African Community EAC, and the South African Development Community SADC, or 26 African countries in total.
It's an excellent platform that is being created. It will bring together all our businesses, all our technological advances. Will be able to cross borders easily. And as the minister has told you, we are already moving in that direction anyway.
Philip Keitany, KTN Business.
Many thanks, Philip Keitany. Of course, throughout the week, we've been keeping tabs with what's developing from the WTO conference and the long-awaited declaration from the 10th Ministerial Conference that was held in Nairobi will not be read today as earlier expected. Instead, it will be read tomorrow, the 19th of December, a day after what was to be the official close of the talks. According to sources, teams from the developing and developed worlds locked horns for most of the negotiations, first prompting the postponement of the declarations and subsequently leading to the postponement of the decision. KTN's Joy Doreen Bira has been following on that story and now joins us from our I&M studios at City Center. Joy, we did hope that today we'll be getting a Nairobi declaration. Perhaps what triggered this and why didn't we get it?
Thanks a lot, Abby. And yes, we were expecting a declaration, but I think at the start of today, that actually started to seem like it wasn't going to happen. So at about 2 p.m., it was a little bit predictable that we were not going to see the Nairobi declaration because of a number of issues that now have zeroed down to 3 issues. And the first one happens to be the issue on the Doha development agenda. And I'm sure today you did see the trends on Twitter, both in Kenya and in India, that were putting India's issues to the fore. But you see, the issue here about the Doha Development Agenda is that in 2001, they agreed to reduce the subsidies for developed countries, and so that they can allow fair trade between developed countries and developing countries. But now the issue is that 14 years later, the United States thinks that if that happens, then India and China need to be excluded from the developing countries classification. And that's where the problem is. So India is saying, you know, we just want to safeguard our farmers' interests. But the United States is saying, you know, these are actually issues that we need to look into, because India and China are not economies that can be categorized as developing if you compare them, say, for instance, to countries on the African continent. So the US appears to be against the Doha Development Agenda. They think that maybe we need to move on and look at the current trends of global trade, and also look at what it is that the African agricultural sector needs and meet that need, because in their perception, they think that India and China are probably at a different level from the rest of the country. They might be right about that, because considering our farmers on the African continent compared to the farmers in India, we're probably at two different levels. But then the second issue has come up on cotton. There are countries in West Africa that are categorized as the C4 or Cotton 4, and these are Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad, and Benin, whose many farmers depend largely on growing cotton for their livelihoods. And so there's been issues about farmers, for instance, in the United States of America. One of the states in the US, that is Oklahoma, happens to have some of the highest agricultural farm subsidies. And if you compare those farmers to farmers in these four countries in West Africa, then there is a bit of an imbalance, because if a farmer in Burkina Faso and Chad, Mali, and Benin at the end of a harvest season is only able to get $300, then it doesn't make sense compared to a farmer who gets subsidies in the United States state of Oklahoma, who probably earns over $1,000. And then there's the issue of a farmer who gets subsidies is able to plant his cotton on time and is able to harvest on time. So for the farmer in Africa, specific C4 countries, they'll probably not plant on time because of weather patterns and so many other challenges. And then that means that his harvest season is going to delay. And then at the end of it all, the challenge here is that the farmer in the US will harvest probably 2 weeks, a month before him, and therefore that means that his sale or his cotton is not going to get any market, because the rest of it will have been bought by whoever it is that is looking for cotton faster, and that will definitely be the US farmer. And then the other issue has been about food aid, where
This is KTN News.
And welcome back. Time for Mind Your Language with Willis, the word master. Let me now bring him in from Kisumu County. Willis, it's great to see you this evening. How are you doing?
Betty, I'm fine, and you look out already for the real job at this moment.
Thank you very much, Willis. You look royal in that purple. Now, Willis, I want us to begin with our word on the street. Let's take a listen to what our Kenyans had to say.
Xylophone, xylophone,
xylophone, xylophone, xylophone,
xylophone, xylophone, xylophone,
xylophone, xylophone,
Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylophone.
Okay. Xylophone. Xylophone. Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylophone. Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylophone.
Phone. Xylophone. Xylophone.
Well, Willis, is that word xylophone, xylophone, how do we go about that one?
Well, we have to learn, Betty, and one thing that really caught my ears is xylophone and xylophone. There's a lot of that. Anyway, that aside, letter X takes what we call the voiced sound Z, like a Z. Letter X, you pronounce it like a Z in that word, then you say xylophone, xylophone.
Xylophone.
Not xylophone, not xylophone.
Right.
Xylophone.
Right. Willis, let's move on to this other word. We know it as cupboard, places where you place utensils, probably in the kitchen. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Betty, avoid cupboard from what you see. Certain English words, what we call look and say, you say the word as a whole. So here we say cupboard, cupboard, not cupboard from the spelling.
Cupboard. Okay, that's a surprise, Willis. Cupboard. Okay, got it. Willis, let's move on to this other word. Do we say volcano or volcano?
You say Kano, Kano.
Kano.
Letter A takes its name as the sound in that word, so you say volcano. But remember, when we try to use the adjective form of that word, we should never talk of volcanic. Now we say volcanic, volcanic, not canic. But the noun is volcano.
Got it, Willis. That's a surprise. I would not say that one ordinarily. Let's move on to this other word, Willis. It's a feedback question from, I think, JB Njenga of Limuru, and he's asking about this word. Do we say apostle? Apostle? Is that T silent?
Well, Betty, we say apostle, apostle, not apostle, not apostle as commonly said locally.
Right.
So that T is silent and the terminal E. Apostle, jostle. You don't say jostle or jostle. You also say to jostle for a post.
Right, got it, Willis. Now, the cupboard was a surprise. I don't know if you have any other surprise word, Willis, for tonight.
Well, Betty, we say minister. But many people make a mistake, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, by saying ministerial.
Yes.
That is this word I'm talking about in this case. We say ministerial, not terial. Just like we talk of bacterial, material, you don't say material, bacterial. So here we say ministerial. And I think I have to salute, that is Amina Mohammed, the Cabinet Secretary, whom I had pronouncing this word correctly last week. So if you meet Amina Mohammed,
I'll tell her that
she deserves a pat on the back.
Right, Willis. So it's ministerial.
Then finally, Betty, as I finish, yes, you say ministerial.
Okay.
But as I finish, Betty, we have two words here which can be confusing to many people. The first one, that is the one above, you say face, face, with the sound S, that is the voiceless or unvoiced sound S, face, my face.
Yes.
But the word below, many people talk of phase one, which is wrong. The second word, that is P-H-A-S-E, you say phase, like you have a Z. Phase one, not phase one. If you say face, the word you are pronouncing is the one above, F-A-C-E.
Got it, Willis. Always a pleasure having you on the show, Willis, teaching us those pronunciations like cupboard and not cupboard, Willis. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Betty, and I have to say I wish you and all the other viewers a Merry Christmas, and they should always say Halabaloo, not Hulabaloo. Halabaloo.
Halabaloo. Got it. Thank you very much, Willis. Willis, you always have words, you know, from here to Timbuktu. Willis, the word master there, joining us from Kisumu County with those difficult pronunciations. You can always get him right here on Friday Briefing. Let's take a short break. Sports News is coming up next. Right, it's time to take a look at some sports news. And early this week, the Kenya Women's Rugby Sevens team, also known as Lionesses, confirmed they will participate in the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, after South Africa pulled out. Despite losing the sport to Springbok women in African qualifiers, Lionesses coach Mike Shamir remains adamant that his team deserved to qualify.
The Kenya Women's Rugby Sevens team almost secured an automatic qualification to Rio after an outstanding performance in the African qualifiers in Kempton Park in September saw them win 5 consecutive matches. But a 31-5 loss to host South Africa in the final meant they had to miss out. But early this week, World Rugby confirmed that the Lionesses will join their male counterparts in the flight to Rio after Springboks Women's Sevens pulled out.
Congratulations for making it to Rio 2016. What's the mood like?
It's a great achievement for anyone to play in the Olympics, and it is a blessing for the girls. They've been praying for this, and it is God-given.
According to the head coach Mike Shamir, the team deserved to qualify.
We played very well in South Africa. We had the best scoring team. We were the best scoring team. We had over 40 tries, and unfortunately lost the last game. I believe it was a good stepping stone for us to play and to see what we have and what we can do. I think it is our girls deserve to be in Rio.
The team is expected to start preparations after the festive period.
We'll get all our players. Only one player who had an injury and underwent surgery. That is Schneider Aura. But we hope she'll be ready in maybe in the second quarter of the year.
12 teams will battle it out for Rugby Sevens Olympic medal for the first time in history between 6th and 8th of August in Rio, Brazil. Abula Ahmed, KTN Sports.
Somalia has been ravaged by decades of war with their sports facilities used by warlords. The country is now trying to rebuild and put up sports infrastructure. Somalia on Thursday screened its first ever live football match as the Horn of Africa nation slowly recovers from decades of war. Take a look.
Somalia on Thursday screened its first ever live football match as the Horn of Africa nation slowly recovers from decades of war. The final of the General Daud Cup, played in the capital Mogadishu's Banadiri Stadium on Thursday afternoon, was broadcasted live on Somali state television SNTV. Despite the country being ravaged by war to an extent that they lack proper sporting infrastructure with available facilities used as camp bases for the warlords, the country has tried to continue their football. The Ocean Stars, the country's national soccer team, has had to be hosted by neighboring countries for their national and international matches. Somalia has always sent a team for the regional Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup despite the war back at home. And after years of planning, finally the country was able to beam live a match pitting the country's heavyweights. Army team Hoseid taking on police rivals Higan FC. Football is one of the most popular games both played and watched in Somalia, with European football screened in cafes. Al-Qaeda's East Africa branch, the Shabab, used to carry out grenade attacks on those watching football. But such attacks have declined, with the insurgents battling government troops backed by a 22,000 strong African Union force.
I really appreciate everything about our set and the fans. We really played our part from official and players. I really don't know what to say about this happiness I have. I just thank my teammates and my coaches and officials.
Somali's Ocean Stars is currently ranked 204 as of the 3rd of December's FIFA ranking. The country was once ranked 158 in the world. And while they hold on to hope that one day they will realize their dream of dining the big boys of African football, they have taken that giant step by screening live matches in an effort to foster peace as they build a stronger league and the national team. Hassan Juma, KTN News.
Right, so it's time to close. I think I have a sugar rush already.
Yeah.
Because of the sugar. It has been quite a pleasure having you on the show, and I think we should come back. New Year again, and then Easter.
Thank you, Kabisa. The pleasure is all mine. I had a lovely time.
Yeah. And say hi to your chefs at the Kenya Chefs Association.
Definitely.
I know they were watching.
I know, and they are so happy.
And they learned a thing or two also.
Of course. And they learned that the microwave could also do some magic. We chefs sometimes we really underestimate the microwave.
Yeah.
But hey,
it can do something. Magic, right? Thank you so much for watching Friday Briefing. It has been amazing having you. Have a lovely, lovely Christmas. I won't see you until the other week, God willing. And so, Merry Christmas. I love you so much, and we'll see you again soon. My name is Betty Okari, and cheers. Yeah? Cheers to the weekend and so much more. Thank you so much, Chef Ali Latiste.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, great.